Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Today, I'm going to walk you through each step I took, so if you're currently feeling overwhelmed by debt, stick with me. Trust me, it's possible. Let's dive in. 1. Face the reality of your debt. Step 1, and probably the hardest part of the entire journey, was to actually face the reality of my debt. For the longest time, I was avoiding my debt like the plague. I would pay the minimum on my credit cards and make payments on my loans, but I never actually sat down to take a hard look at how much I owed in total. Sound familiar? Trust me, I get it. It's scary to see those numbers in black and white, but it's the most crucial step in taking control of your finances. Here's what I did. I gathered all my debt information, credit cards, personal loans, medical bills, and I made a list. I included the outstanding balance, the minimum monthly payment, and the interest rate for each debt. Once I added it all up, the total was just over $50,000. Yes, it was overwhelming, but it gave me a clear picture of what I was up against. If you're in the same boat, here's what you need to do. Gather all your debt statements. Find everything from credit cards, student loans, personal loans, and medical bills. List every debt, the balance, minimum payment, and interest rate. Total it up. This step is tough, but it's essential. Knowing your exact number is empowering, because now you have a target to aim at. Once I had this info in front of me, I felt like I was finally in control. And remember, acknowledging your debt is the first step toward paying it off. 2. Create a budget that works for you. The next step was figuring out how much money I actually had to put toward paying off my debt. And for that, I needed a budget. Now, I'm not going to lie, I used to think budgeting was boring, and I didn't think it would work for me. But I was so wrong. Creating a budget is crucial if you want to get out of debt because it shows you exactly where your money is going each month. Here's how I set up my budget. Income. I started by calculating how much money I made each month after taxes. That's the key number I had to work with. Expenses. I tracked every single expense for an entire month. I wrote down my rent, utilities, groceries, gas, and those little things I used to ignore, like that daily coffee run or random Amazon purchases. Needs versus wants. I categorized my spending into needs and wants. A need is something like rent or groceries, things you absolutely have to spend money on to survive. Wants are things like dining out, entertainment, or new clothes, things that are nice to have but not necessary. If you're ready to create your own budget, here's what to do. Track your spending for a month and categorize everything. Cut back on non-essential expenses and use that money to pay off debt. Stick to your budget. It might feel like a sacrifice at first, but trust me, it'll be worth it when you see your debt shrinking. 3. Pick a debt payoff strategy. Okay, now that I had my budget and knew how much money I could throw at my debt each month, the next step was choosing a debt payoff strategy. There are two popular methods when it comes to paying off debt, the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. Let me break down both. Debt snowball. With the debt snowball method, you focus on paying off your smallest debt first, regardless of the interest rate. You pay the minimum on all your other debts, and once you pay off that first small debt, you move on to the next smallest. The idea here is that paying off the smallest debt first gives you a quick win, which builds momentum and keeps you motivated. Debt avalanche. The debt avalanche method, on the other hand, focuses on paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first, regardless of the balance. This method saves you the most money in the long run because you're paying less in interest overall. Personally, I chose the debt avalanche method because I wanted to save the most money on interest. My credit cards had high interest rates, so I focused on paying those off first while making minimum payments on everything else. Once I paid off my high-interest debts, I moved on to the lower-interest ones. Both methods work, and the key is to choose the one that will keep you motivated. Whether you prefer the quick wins of the snowball method or the long-term savings of the avalanche method, the most important thing is to stick with it. 4. Boost your income with side hustles. Step 4 was a total game changer for me. I increased my income by picking up a side hustle. Cutting back on expenses was helpful, but I realized that if I wanted to pay off my debt faster, I needed to bring in more money. And in today's world, there are so many ways to earn extra cash on the side. For me, I started freelancing in my spare time. I took on some freelance writing gigs, and it wasn't glamorous, but it added an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. Every single penny from that side hustle went straight toward my debt, and it helped me speed up the process. Here are a few side hustle ideas that you can try. Freelancing. If you have a skill like writing, graphic design, or social media management, you can offer your services online. Websites like Upwork or Fiverr are great places to get started. Ride-sharing or food delivery. Driving for Uber, Lyft, or delivering food for DoorDash or Grubhub can bring in extra cash, especially if you have flexible hours. Online tutoring. If you're knowledgeable in a subject, you can offer tutoring services online through platforms like VIPKid or Chegg Tutors. Selling items you don't need. Declutter your house and sell anything you no longer use on platforms like eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or Poshmark. I know what you're thinking, I don't have time for a side hustle. Trust me, I felt the same way. But even if you can only put in a few extra hours each week, it can make a huge difference in the long run. And remember, every extra dollar you make is a dollar that's going toward crushing your debt. 5. Negotiate lower interest rates. Another trick that helped me pay off my debt faster was to negotiate lower interest rates. If you're carrying high-interest credit card debt, interest is eating away at your progress every month. But did you know that you can often negotiate lower rates with your creditors? It's true, and it's easier than you might think. Here's how I did it. I called up my credit card companies and simply asked if they could lower my interest rate. I explained that I was working hard to pay down my debt and asked if they had any special offers or promotions available. To my surprise, one of my credit card companies offered to lower my rate by a few percentage points, which saved me hundreds of dollars in interest over time. If negotiating with your creditors sounds intimidating, don't worry. It's a quick call, and the worst they can say is no. But even a small reduction in your interest rate can make a big difference when you're trying to pay off debt. Here are some other options. Balance transfers. Some credit cards offer 0% interest on balance transfers for a limited time. If you qualify, you can transfer your high-interest credit card balances to one of these cards and pay no interest for 12-18 months, giving you a chance to pay off the principal faster. Debt consolidation loans. If you have multiple high-interest debts, you might consider consolidating them into one loan with a lower interest rate. This can make it easier to manage your payments and save you money on interest. So, if you're working on paying off your debt, don't forget to celebrate your progress. Track your milestones, visualize your future without debt, and remind yourself why you're doing this. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more personal finance tips, and comment below with any questions you have. I'm here to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.